There's a good chance that you will find this video, or maybe this video will find you when you need it most. Now, I know that this video is not going to resonate and land for a lot of people, and I didn't make it for them, but there is a select few that it will land for, and that is exactly who I made it for. And maybe you'll watch this and it won't land, and maybe you'll watch it in a year and it's exactly what you needed to hear. Either way, I know there was a time in my life when I needed this video and I didn't have access to it. So I'm making it for that type of person, making it for that guy. Now, I wrote a blog about this. You can find it on my Substack in the description below. I saw a few other people create sort of blogs and video content around something similar, and I realized that it was absolutely the topic that I needed many moons ago. So I created off the back of that. So I've got some notes here on my phone from the blog. I'm just going to read it as we go, but I'm going to riff on it so you get a bit more of depth and understanding as we get going as well. So if you're ready, and you're here, I'm going to say this up front, you're not broken. Now, no one's broken. Everyone has been wired a particular way, and they've played such a key role in wiring themselves. But commonly, people can fall into this trap that they need to be fixed, and fixed presupposes broken, and that is not what you are. The season you're in is a season of growth, and a season of growth means a season of change. When you've got change, it can feel like things are going to fall apart, but if you want a better future, you can't have the same or familiar, and that's why the word familiar is so closely related to the word family, is that we commonly want to stay with what's familiar, but in order to have what you really want, there's going to need to be change. And so that's where what you're feeling now is normal. It's not common, but it's normal. Because when you set a goal, you don't get given that goal. What you get is the problems that you need to solve to be able to become the person that owns that goal. You don't get given the goal, you get the set of problems you need to solve to be able to own that goal. And the reason why that's so crucial is because that's what takes you to the next stage. And this is where people get mixed up, because they mix up state and stage. They're two different things. People can commonly chase this heightened state, this heightened experience, and we can get that from scrolling, from drugs, from porn, from TV, from a whole range of things. And we have these instant heightened states, but that doesn't take you to the next stage. In fact, if anything, it keeps you at your current stage. So in order to go through to your next stage, there's going to be some form of pain. There has to be some form of death, which I'm going to talk a bit about later on. But this is what you're going through right now is exactly what you need to be able to take yourself to your next stage. It kind of fits with the dark soul of the night, dark night of the soul, both of those things, the dark night of the soul. And if you're not familiar with that, you can YouTube that with mood prep. I did a podcast on that many moons ago, but either way, some people chase these experiences, but not you. Don't chase the experience. Don't get distracted. It's okay. You're on the right path, but you got to keep going. It's almost like when chasing those peak experiences, people mistake it as this sort of heightened level of awareness. But it's not. The peak experience or the facade that gets experienced is going to absolutely keep you where you are. And the whole point of going through this challenge that you're going through is to be somewhere different. So whatever you do, don't look back, keep going. See, the real work is actually done. It's in winter, and it's almost more like planting a seed. And the reason why I say it's more like planting a seed is that if you feel like you're struggling and you're working and you feel like you're in the dark and no one can see it, you're literally a seed that's been planted and watered, and all of the work of building out the roots is all happening underground. No one can see it. But you got to keep going even though no one can see it, because at some point you're going to sprout and it's going to be small, but you're going to keep going from there. And so this season, this winter, may feel more like this struggle for growth that you can barely see, but you know something's happening, but no one else can see. That's okay. That's normal. It happens. Life has seasons. There's winters, there's springs, there's summers, there's autumns or falls, depending on what you call it from where you come from. But you got to keep struggling. It's okay. This is literally how, if you walk through this season, you will get to a spring. right? Because you might be in a winter and someone else might be in a summer, and you're judging your winter of someone else's summer. Don't. As soon as you place your value in the experience that someone else is having in reference to yours, and you run a judgment on that, it's going to take you away from the struggle, and you're going to be forced to go back to where you were. Don't worry about that. It's a distraction. It's taking your traction away from where you really want to go. And where you really want to go is a bit of an unknown, but that's okay, because all of your potential exists in the unknown, and you're going to have to lean into it. And yes, it's normal to feel anxious about it, but also a little bit of excitement about it. And it's going to feel lonely because the majority of people don't go down that path, and that's okay. But if you walk through this season, if you stay in it, you become someone new. It's interesting, you don't actually really become someone new. It's almost like you unbecome who you haven't been, right? Who you've been showing, who you've been trying to be. You unbecome that, and you actually reveal who you've been there, who's been there, and who you are the whole time. But if you turn around now, if you stop and go back, you never break through. If you keep going, you change everything. And to step into the next stage, you have to let the past die. Let it wilt. Let it fall away. Let it go. You can't build the life or the worldview that you know that you're capable of whilst holding on to this old worldview and this old way of being. You cannot do it. That's the scary part of, if I let go of that, then who am I? If I let go of that, then what will I have? If I let go of that, then what will people think of me? It's like, well, find out. You have to shed what you once knew for what's possible. So the real question isn't, why is this happening to me? The real question is, what is this preparing me for? You see, 10 years ago, right, what is this preparing me for? 10 years ago for me, I was 26, and I shook hands with the devil. That's what I refer to it as. And in what I think now, what I realize now, was probably a depression. I told myself, and I remember doing this, if I write a book and I'm still useless, if I still feel useless, then it makes sense to just end it. And even now, it feels like somebody else said that, not me. Now, I guess in a way someone else did, a different version of me. And to clarify, when I say end it, I'm talking about probably what you're thinking about. At the time, I was homeless, I was broke, I was lonely, in debt, in a lot of debt. I had no partner, I had no money, I had no fallback, no family around, nothing. Now, interesting thing around the homeless thing, and I only admitted this to myself the last couple of years, I was homeless, I wasn't houseless. I was house sitting often, and then there was gaps in between the house sitting. And funnily enough, there was nights I would stay in this very room in my office, and it did not look like this. This office was not like this whatsoever at all. It was a cold shed, and I had a beanbag in here, and that's where I'd stay. So it was interesting as an adult, not realizing at the time that I was homeless. Wasn't always houseless, but I was always homeless. There was no home. But that one promise to write a book, that was the deal that I made with the devil, and it was almost like a rope got thrown to me. I was down a well, it's been cold, dark, I get rained on, everything, and this rope got thrown to me. And even though I still had to climb, I grabbed it and I started climbing. Sometimes I would slip, but not always day by day, but always week by week I progressed. And that was the season that I was in. And at the time, it didn't make any sense. But over time, I turned the pain into purpose. I learned that the way I experienced the world around me was shaped by the world I was creating inside of me, on the inside, my inner map of reality. And that's what I want you to hear. The season that you're in won't last. I remember being told by a friend and a mentor when I went probably at the start of this really difficult period. He's like, this too shall pass. And these 4 words sound nice, but when you get on the other side, you realize that it just passes. This too shall pass. But there is only one way through it. and that's through it. That's why it's called a breakthrough, not a break around or a break avoid. It is a breakthrough. You have to keep going. You have to go through it. There is only one way. It is the hack. It is the shortcut. It is the fastest way, is through it, straight through it. And if you do that, you also get to grow through it. If you avoid it, you don't get to grow. If you avoid it, you are unconsciously choosing the opposite of growth, which is death. You have to grow through it. And so if you want a good life, stop wishing for an easier one. Don't wish for an easy life. Build a meaningful one. Because when this season ends, and it will, like it always does, you will come out the other side as exactly who you need to be. And in a strange way, exactly who you've always been. So please, keep going. You're unbecoming. Everything you were told to be, unbecoming who you were, how you were told to act, what you were told to believe, all of that is falling away. It's like you're a block of marble, and each day you're chipping away at the parts of you that aren't you. So you can finally reveal what's been underneath this whole time. And just remember, you're not meant to know. The path reveals itself as you walk it, not before. Big love. Peace and pizza. If you enjoyed this stuff, subscribe for more. If you want to learn more about my writings, join my Substack. If any of this hit home, then check out my free trainings or my peak program. Either way, keep going. Big love. I'll see you soon.